Today, the most relevant royals, this isn't up for debate, touched down in New York City for World Mental Health Day. Now, this is the first time that they've been back since the royal rodents' failed attempt to Princess Diana them back in May. Now, the purpose of today's visit was to host the Archwell Foundation's first ever in-person summit, which also happens to coincide with World Mental Health Day. Now, as we know, mental health awareness is very important to the Duke and Duchess because the entire world has seen how not only Harry's family, right along with their friends, destroy their mental health one article at a time. On their first stop, they decided to surprise the students over at the Marcy Lab College. Now, this institution actually provides a alternative to a four-year university. It also provides no cost tuition to the students. These students, of course, have to meet income qualifications, but I actually think this is an awesome organization. And Archwell is a donor. They provided a grant to this organization sometime earlier this year. I'm not sure if it's January or February. Harry over here, gingering, looking good, showing us why his brother had to hire that valet, and our Duchess. Duchess over here stunting in that varsity jacket. Now, when I first looked at that, I was like, it looks awfully familiar. And then I got to thinking like, Then I get to scratching his big ass forehead like, boom, I knew I seen it. I knew it. If you guys don't remember, back in 2020, Meghan was gifted this Letterman jacket from the Robert Clarkson School's debate team. I believe it's in Essex, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Don't quote me on that one. However, she was actually gifted this Letterman jacket. This is actually one of the iconic photos from that, which I think somebody tried to mimic the other day with that ridiculous heart sign. But that's for another video. However, I thought it was pretty awesome that she wore that jacket. And for people that keep coming in my comments asking me why I support her, baby, the proof is in the pudding.
Brooklyn got the royal treatment today as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle paid a visit. That's cool. They were at the Marcy Lab school in Sunset Park earlier this month. It's their first trip back to the city since their car chase with paparazzi back in May. Students say their presence brought happiness and made everyone feel supported. So cool to see Harry and Meghan out there.
Now, following their visit from the Marcy Lab College, the Duke and Duchess also hosted a panel discussion with several parents who lost their children behind mental health issues that were caused by social media. Many of the parents talked about their grief and how the Archwell Foundation has provided support by bringing these families together via Zoom, which also allowed them to connect with people going through what they're going through. And as a widow myself who's been dealing with grief going on 5 years, having that community that really understands what you're going through is the biggest blessing. I also wanted to share a couple clips from the event just so y'all can see just why I roll with these people.
My husband and I often say if there's going to be so much focus on what we're doing, then to try to focus on what we're focusing on, because their stories are what matter. And trying to safeguard so many other families from experiencing this level of pain. So for us, it's just, what is the solution? What can we do behind the scenes? What do we continue to do behind the scenes? How can we work with professionals and experts to really figure out, in knowing this is not going away, how do we make it safer, better, more positive, so that whether someone is losing a child or almost losing a child, those are some of the other stories we've heard, right? That, if a young girl's going on looking for healthy recipes, but an algorithm starts giving her nothing but thinspiration and anorexia, and she's hospitalized as a result of that. There are so many twists and turns that can be avoided. So we're hoping to be part of that solution, all of us together as a community.
You guys have so much on your plate, and I wonder, just as a mom of two young kids, after the stories that we heard today from these families that you have gotten to know over the past year and the work that Archwell's doing in this space, like, where is this now, this social media as it pertains to the youth, your two kids, mental, where is that now on a priority list? Not as a kick-ass woman, but as a mom. Excuse my French.
Thank you. Thank you for asking and also for being here with us. A year ago we met some of the families, not all of them. At that time, it was impossible to not be in tears, as I'm sure so many of you have been today hearing these stories. You can hear the stories again and again and again. It's still going to have the same emotional impact because it's just that devastating. And as parents, though our kids are really young, they're 2.5 and 4.5, but social media is not going away. And look, I think by design, there was an entry point that's supposed to be positive and creating community. And something has devolved. And there's no way to hear that and not try to help these families have their stories heard.
Now, we can all agree this was a very successful trip, especially compared to last time. But I wanted to spotlight our Duchess in particular because she has been through so much in the past 7 years. The way that she has been consistently bullied, especially during her pregnancy, I know that has taken a huge toll on her mental well-being, because honestly, it's taken a toll on my mental well-being just watching her go through this. But the tides are changing. And that just goes to show you that love always wins and evil will never prosper. On that note, I just want to let everybody know this is what it looks like when you're not a hater. This is what it looks like when you're successful. This is what it looks like when you have the support of the people that really love and appreciate you. That's what it looks like, boo. We love you, Meghan. We love you, Harry. Thank you guys for being so supportive to people in general and actually really caring about people's mental well-being, because we know those other royals could care less.